In this video, I'm gonna share with you some of the best shop vac attachments that I use for my 4-gallon rigid shop vac in my professional auto detailing world. Now let's get straight into it. What's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Welcome back to the Wilson Auto Detailing community. If you're a professional auto detailer who wants to become more successful and profitable in your business, or just a car enthusiast who wants to improve your detailing ability, then definitely consider hitting that big red subscribe button right below this video. So I'm on location right now at one of my customers' apartments, and I'm detailing his Q50. So this is a very nice kind of luxury sedan car, and I'm actually done with the interior and I'm about to move to the exterior, but I want to show you guys how I sometimes finish some of the interiors of the cars that I detail, and specifically how I use these attachments that I have for the rigid shop vac that I use that are very, very detailed, very specific attachments. Let me show you the ones I'm talking about. So I have this adapter piece right here that connects right at the bigger, kind of wider end mouth of my hose, and then I have, once again, another attachment that fits on the end of it. Now, these pieces that I'm talking about, you can use for a lot more than just automotive. You can use for your house, your computer, things like that, but I want to show you guys this. We've got these tiny, tiny little pieces right here, little tiny brushes even like this, a brush like this, very, very small, you guys can see, and even a tiny, tiny chisel tool, which is awesome. Now, these are great for getting in between like buttons, in between leather seat, the cracks between leather seats, and things like that. Let's go ahead and head to the interior. So if you're a professional auto detailer, you know that a lot of times you can actually clean kind of this area, this cluster of instruments, this area on the front of cars, but actually in between the buttons you end up having either kind of liquid stay in there, or you have this dust that collects on the very inside that's not necessarily on the surface. And so what I'm gonna do is show you guys how I use this tiny little brush attachment that's very, very detailed, very small, very specific, and I'm gonna show you how I get in these buttons and vacuum everything actually out of the buttons so there's no liquid, there's no dust, nothing left over. So this tiny little brush attachment, it lets those bristles get in between the buttons, so like literally inside of the buttons, and it moves around, breaks up any of that liquid, any of that dust, and then of course the vacuum part is just gonna suck all of that up. Now there is a little bit of precaution that needs to be taken when you're using these attachments. Because the shop vac's motor is so powerful and it's sucking so much air through a very small mouth, you don't wanna keep these attachments on here for an extended period of time because you'll actually ruin your vacuum, you'll ruin the motor because it can't handle sucking in so much air through such a small mouth. Now let me show you another area actually between this little rubber gasket that I use these vacuum attachments for when I'm finishing cars. So now I've attached this really, really small chisel tool, this really, really small crevice tool, and what I'm gonna do is actually use it to get in between this rubber gasket right here where some liquid gets collected, a lot of dirt gets collected. You can use this as you're cleaning. I've actually already finished, so I'm gonna use this to just finish this last piece. Now let's check out the in-between of this gasket. You can see there is literally nothing in between this rubber and this plastic panel right here that sits in between the door. I mean, I'm pulling it apart and you can see literally nothing except for a clean surface. No crumbs, no dirt, no nothing. So let me show you guys all the attachments that I have here. This one is more of like a wider mouth kind of brush attachment, very small. This is good for like getting in vents. Of course, this one's good at getting in vents as well. This kind of lets you cover more surface area at a time. This is good for those tiny in between the seat pieces. This is great once again for kind of the instrument cluster area of the car. I use this to get in between buttons. I'll use this in vents as well, but that's really good for the instrument cluster. Really allows those bristles to clean everything out and then suck it up. Now this chisel tool is great for carpet seats. This is really great for when you're pulling the leather seat kind of like apart, the seams apart, so you can get in between in those crumbs. And so this is really great for sucking all those crumbs up. It's gonna be really, really powerful in doing that. And then these are just two attachments. This one has kind of a bent neck and this one's totally straight. That's just gonna allow you kind of better reach wherever you're going. You know, if you're going under seats, you can attach this and then put, you know, something at the end of it if you like, and that will allow you to get kind of really further than you would without this. Now this is the adapter that I use in order to actually be able to use these really small tools. You have to have this adapter that fits on this really larger mouth of the vacuum. It fits over, and I like this one because it'll fit many different sized adapters. So this is the first thing you need, and then this actually comes in this tiny instrument cluster kit. So here's the first adapter, and then of course you have the last adapter right here that comes in the kit that allows you to actually fit all these tiny pieces on the ends and things like that. So this is probably really obvious, but I just wanted to show you guys some areas where these kind of tools are very helpful. Obviously this is going to be really great when you're dealing with things like these kind of instrument clusters with the windows, the locking buttons, things like that. You can really just use this to get in between all of that, down in here, down in here. You can get it in these cup holders down here, whereas a normal crevice tool might not fit down here. You can get it tiny spaces like in between the seats down here, pick up crumbs in between buttons like this. But of course, one of the biggest things that I love that I've repeated a bunch is getting in between the seams of the leather seat, because it really allows you to have some powerful suction, and it's going to get all those crumbs out. Obviously, you can get buttons up here, in between this emblem, the vents, and all those sort of things. So I just wanted to show you guys the finished interior. You can take a look here at this kind of the steering wheel area. Steamed everything, steamed all the carpets, everything like that. We've dressed the leather seats with, not just cleaned them with all-purpose cleaner, but dressed them with express spray wax. We vacuumed all in here with our little crevice tools and our tiny little shop vac attachments, and the car really looks great. So all in all, guys, these tiny little crevice tools are really an amazing thing to have in your arsenal, because they're going to allow you to do things that you previously wouldn't be allowed to do, and just kind of allows you to give that level 10 service. It's one of those things that maybe your customer would or would not notice, but it's gonna be something that you're gonna notice, and it's just that level 10 service. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hook up all that stuff in the YouTube comments below, because I always read those and I always get back to you guys. And let me know what strategies you guys use to vacuum those tiny areas if you don't use these little tools. I want to know how you guys attack situations just like this. And as always, if you guys would like to buy any of these products, these shop vac attachments, I'm gonna hook up links to Amazon to all of these tools in the description box below. And of course, if you guys use my links, it does give this channel a very small commission, but it allows me to continue to put out daily content that's really good and valuable for you guys. So if you do buy these, definitely use my links. And as always, thank you guys so much for being involved and watching. And if you're new here, then definitely consider subscribing, because I come out with daily videos on products, tools, strategies, communication skills, business skills, and all sorts of things like that to help the professional detailers become more successful in their auto detailing business. And on this channel, I share the exact strategies that allowed me to turn my auto detailing business into a full-time income with only part-time hours. So if you're interested in that, definitely consider subscribing. Everyone, thank you so much. And from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.